Welcome back into the channel, Rockstars. It is Wednesday, hump day, November 6th, 2024, the day after the election. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about what we can do for ourselves and not rely on those people in Washington to make changes for our businesses for the better on our own without the help of somebody else. And today I'm going to do that. I'm going to show a lot of you how to properly use promoted listings on eBay, because after doing hundreds and hundreds of reviews, literally hundreds of reviews, the mass majority of people either aren't using promoted listings, a huge, like 50% of people aren't using them or barely using them. Like they have 500 items, they have like 2 and they're promoted, or they're not using them properly. They're making a lot of mistakes. They have a lot of cleanup issues on promoteds. This is common, and I don't really fault a lot of people because eBay doesn't do a good job of really explaining it. So I wanted to show you guys promoteds today, and I'm going to take it over to my screen and show you real quick before we do jump into that. I wanted you guys to tell me the difference on the audio, 3 different audios, which ones you like better, because a lot of people love this podcasting mic, which I used yesterday. And a lot of you love the sound and the tone, and I love it. So I'm going to keep using it, but I wanted you guys to hear the difference in the 3 different type of audio that I use. One being this mic with the soundboard, one being this clip-on mic, which is made by the same company. The same company makes this microphone and this clip-on, but this is for like, out in town, mobile, in the car, maybe, at a different location. You can't take this mic with you, so you got to take the clip on the mobile. And it's a great mic and it sounds good. I just want you guys to hear the difference and let me know on the audio. So what you're listening to right now is, of course, this microphone, this podcasting static, normal, dynamic mic that stays put. Next, you're going to hear the audio from this clip-on mic. Okay, this is the clip-on audio mic that you're now listening to. Let me know how you think that this sounds. Do you like this audio and what it sounds like compared to this mic? Totally different type of sound. Third, I'm going to unplug the clip-on mic. And now you're listening to audio coming into my iPhone 15 Pro Max, just directly into the phone, like if you filmed in selfie mode. This is what most of you record on and what you hear and how you see a lot of people on TikTok or Instagram recording. Of course, it doesn't sound anything like having a microphone. So this is just an iPhone audio, just normal everyday audio right into your phone compared to what you just heard on the clip-on mic. And then finally, we're going to go back to the podcast mic, and this is what it sounds like talking into the static dynamic podcast. This is a Rode podcasting mic, and this is what a lot of podcasters use. It's very popular in the community. It's called a Rode Pod Mic, and PODMIC. It's very, very popular. It's very affordable too. I think it's like $125, $150 I paid for this. So, and I actually got quite a few of them for the guests. So let me know what you think of the audio. And with that, let's jump over to promoted listings, and I'll show you guys how to properly use it and do it cleanly. Okay, so here we are on my promoted listing screen. When you're in eBay, you're just going to go to advertising and you're just going to click the campaign button. Super easy, right? Like it'll bring you right to, this is like the dashboard screen. Like there is a dashboard of advertising, right? Like down here, this is your main screen, but you just want to go to the campaign screen. This is where you'll do all of your promoted listings. So I have one promoted listing running, and this is probably the most important thing that I always see for everyone. I open these up and people will have like 10 pages of promoted listings, and I never understand it. They'll have like 4 promoteds, then they'll have like 3 promoteds, then like 6, then like 18, then like 40. And I'm like, why do you have these all in different promoted campaigns? Like it doesn't make any sense. And the reason that people do it, and I'll show you, is because when you create a new listing, this is one of my listings right now, and you come down here to the bottom, eBay pops up this promote your listing thing, right? Now, because mine is already listed, it's inside of my current campaign, which is 2.5% that I've been running since July. I do end mine and rerun them some of the time, but generally not. eBay is suggesting 11%, which is a joke. I would never give them 11 plus 13.5. That would be 24, 25%. No, thank you. 2.5%, right? And it's already running. But when you create a new listing, if you don't have something like this or you have other ones, eBay will ask you to create a promoted for it, or like this one saying, oh, do it on priority campaign, excuse me. I don't ever use this, never use this. I don't do it. And that's how people end up with a whole bunch of campaigns. As they create new listings, they keep creating new campaigns, and then they just pop up with the few listings they did that day. It's not necessary. You should always have everything in one campaign. The only exception to that rule, and this is where I think a lot of people would agree with me, if you are testing, like let's say you want to do half your store at 3% and half your store at 6%, like if you're running a test, like that's great. Like I would do that in a minute. I'm going to take all my remote controls, I'm going to run half of them at 2% and half of them at 5%, right? And see if there's a drastic increase. Now, they're not the exact same items, so we can't go tit for tat on, okay, this item sold because it was a Sony, this one sold because it was a Samsung. It didn't matter what percentage it was. We can't ever generally test that side by side by side by side unless you really dug in deep and sold like half your polo shirts at 2% and half of them at 5%. And they were all polo men's extra large green shirts, right? Then maybe you could do a better test. But for the most part, one promoted campaign is enough. And when you do the promoted campaign, unless you're testing against it, there's some people that will do it by category as well. Like I want to promote all my clothing at like 5% because it's super saturated, but I only want to promote my electronics at 2% because they don't generally need a lot of promotion to sell. I totally understand that as well, but that's not what I see when I do audits. I see like hundreds of campaigns and people are just, for the most part, just promoting stuff in different campaigns one after another. It's super ugly. It's not clean. And you can't see the results. You can't see what your store is doing in one spot. You don't want to be going through promoted after campaign, after campaign, after campaign, after campaign. Only if you're testing it and you only have a couple, you still shouldn't have more than 2 or 3. That's my opinion on that. Everything that I've gone over with people, when it's cleaner, it's easier. They tend to see it and they tend to get better results. So that's number 1, just have one campaign. So if you don't have a campaign, you're going to create a new one. If you do already have one, if you want to delete them all except for the one, you're going to need to end it. And when you end it, wait about 5 or 10 minutes. It'll take it a minute to register the ending of it, maybe 15 minutes, refresh the page. And then when you come back to this dropdown, it'll show as its status ended, and then it'll pop up with a delete button and you can delete it. Unfortunately, that's how you have to do it. So you got to end it, wait for it, refresh it, delete it. And you can do it in bulk. I'm pretty sure if you have more than one, you can do it in bulk there. So that's how we clean up our promoted listings. Step 1. Step number 2, once you have it created or once you are editing it, if you're editing your current campaign or you're creating a new one, I highly recommend you do general, not priority. So the difference is priority says you'll pay for the clicks. This means you're going to pay for promoting whether the item sells or not. As long as it's getting clicks, you're going to pay for it. This says 40% more items are sold. I don't know if I believe that or not. It's possible. I wouldn't go against it. On Amazon's pay per click, which is like PPC, pay per click, PPC advertising. That's what we're referring to when somebody says that. It does do significantly better depending on the product, but I'm not going to pay for a chance to sell something. I'm going to pay for general. So this is only when the item sells, and it says you'll get 25% more clicks. Well, that's good. I'll take that, right? Sellers saw a 40% increase in sold items on average when using the priority campaign. Again, I don't believe that, but it's up to you. I would never use it. I have many clients who have used this and seen minimal to no results with good stuff. Like I looked at their stuff, good stuff. So that's up to you. I can't tell you whether you should or shouldn't do it. I'm telling you, I don't do it. And I'm telling you, the people I work with have not seen significant results from it, if any results. Okay. Adding listings. So if you manage your listings, you can select them in bulk. You can select as many as you put on the page, which is up to 500, but you can add as many as you want into the campaign, right? Now, here's the great thing. When you click on this, it's going to show you the price, the quantity, the sold, whatever, but it's going to show you the name or the number of days that it's been on the site. This particular apple bottom sweatshirt has been on the site for 1,233 days. Well, we know there's 365 days in a year, so we know that 3 years is over 1,011. This thing is like 3.5 years old. Look at the impressions. In 3.5 years, it's only gotten 30 impressions, right? I'm pretty sure this is lifetime. I don't think this is 90 days. That's crazy. It's at $10. It's obviously a garbage item. I should probably just get rid of it. It's not even worth having in the store, okay? When you got items, this is a great way to see how long your items have been in the shop. You can just click like page 7. You can click like page 9. Here's a great one. Here's a David Taylor golf polo extra large. I have it up for $14.45. These are after my sale price, by the way. These are probably like 18 bucks. 281 days on the site. It's coming up on a year. We're at what, like, I don't know, 9 months on this thing. 0 search impressions. 0. This item's not selling. This is a super secret gold nugget that a lot of people don't realize how long their item has been on the site. So if you are not getting impressions and you're not, these items have been on the site that long, which I have a lot of them. I'm not going to lie. I have a lot. I have pages and pages of items here, but Here you go. Here's a great one. This JVC Shutter Plus TV remote. It's only been up for 44 days. It has 200 impressions, and it's it's an $8 remote. It's not a big deal, right? Let's look. You can do this and sort this by price, which is probably a good idea. I have a lot of 1,000 remotes. It's been up for 34 days, 1 month, and has 200 views. Look at my highest priced items. You see this stuff? This leather vintage jacket from the NFL is up for $99. It's been up for a year and a year and a half, year and 3/4, and it has 80 impressions. Impressions doesn't mean clicks. It doesn't mean somebody clicked on it. It just means it popped up in their search. So yeah, it's popping up in search. I wish we could see the rest of the stats, which you could open this and check on more stats on it, but you guys can see exactly. Look at this Harmony in -R0007 remote, ultimate touchscreen remote. I have it up for $46.75, 93 days on the site. It's been up for 3 months, and it has 650 impressions. So people are searching for this item. They're just not buying it. This means I could be overpriced. Who knows? Obviously, the promoted is working because it's showing up in people's search. Here's a great one that makes no sense to me. It's a Great Seal of the State of Oklahoma men's large leather waistcoat. It's a vest, and this should have the word motorcycle in it, and this is why it's not getting enough results. We got to go back and edit it. $45. I think I started this thing at $60. It has been on the site for a year and a half, year and a quarter, whatever. No impressions. So do you guys kind of see how you can tell what you should be kind of promoting things at if it's been, up there for that long and not getting impressions? This is something that no one shows you. This is like a gatekeeping secret. People don't like to show this stuff, but I'm here to show it to you guys. Next, revising the listing. If you want to revise one of your listings and add them into the promoted, you certainly can. Like I showed you guys earlier, it's down here at the bottom, but I highly recommend just coming in and editing the campaign and adding all the items you want to add it to, right? So if you get to that point and you add the listings, you can come down here and do the select ad rate. Okay, so fixed ad rate is what I always do. You choose your ad rate, which is 2.5%. Stays the same. It doesn't change. You can come back and edit it anytime. Or you can do the dynamic ad rate, which I don't recommend. You just saw that they were updating to 11% is what they were suggesting on that remote. Dynamic ad rate is ad rates that automatically update to the daily suggestion as it goes up and down. So you're going to pay whatever eBay is suggesting. Highly don't recommend that because you don't get to pick. Next, you'll just choose the campaign name, 2.5% July 24. That's what I did. And then you're going to choose its start date, which obviously it's already started, and its end date. Now, you can end the campaign or pause the campaign inside of here, or you can just go ahead and save your changes. And that's how easy it is to do a promoted campaign. You're either going to create a new one, or you can just go ahead and delete all of them but one, and then just edit this one. Once you do your edit, you can add all the listings you want to add in, and then you can save it with your whatever your ad rate percentage is. So that's promoted listings in a nutshell. And that's a secret to see how a lot of your items are doing and performing, how long they've been around, and how many views and impressions they're getting. And if they're not getting anything, whether you should think about moving them. Now, a lot of my items don't have impressions or whatever because they're very, very long tail. They're waiting on certain buyers. So they may have 0 views, and tomorrow they might get a couple and sell right away. So I don't really mess with some of that stuff. But that can also tell you what kind of junky stuff you have in the store and what kind of category of stuff is moving really slow, so you can stop focusing on that and you can start focusing on better stuff. So that's promoted listings 101. If you need help with these promoted listings, you want me to come into your store and get it set up for you and get it all running, along with about a dozen other things that I help people do that are not in this video, that are all part of my reviews and audits, please reach out to me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. I'll get you set up. I'll get you helped. I've already been helping a couple hundred people in the last few months. This is just one of the things that we do while I work on their stores and their audits and their reviews. 1 week, 2 weeks, or 4 weeks, I will work with you. Very affordable, very easy, $25, $50, and $99, and we'll get you going. We'll get your store working. Don't forget, Black Friday is in just a couple of weeks, and you want all of this in tip-top shape before the holiday. That way you can make the most of all the people spending that Christmas money. All right, guys, enjoy the video. I hope you like it. I hope you hit the like button and subscribe. Come back and watch future videos, and let me know about that audio, whether it was this pod mic, whether it was this clip-on mic, or the audio from my iPhone, what you think of all 3 different types of audio. And until the next video, I hope you guys enjoy your evening. I hope you make money, and I'll see you next time.